Hello guys, it's Tired Andy here, and I have a huge pile of books because this is my to-be-read pile of books, if that wasn't implied. I promise the channel is not becoming a book channel, even though I love books. I still want to do other things, but I still want to do other things. I wanted to talk about my to-be-read pile because there's a lot of books. There are more books down here. Yes, and hopefully you're not hearing the fan. It's just like really hot right now, and my room doesn't have a lot of circulation going on. I mean, it does if I open the window, but opening the window will make for a lot more noise than necessary, so we're not opening the window for that. So starting off, we have a book that's in French. And no, I don't speak French, but I was there for a while, a couple of years ago, and my mom just got this book for me because it's, yeah, Doctor Who. It's perfect, and it's 11, and Amy, and it's just, I should get to read this, but like, it's French. Let me see if I can read anything in the back, like Geyer, and the whole, something, and then there's the android, plus hostile and galaxy. That's what I can make of this first phrase right here. And then there's in 250 million years, Jiri was open to naufragios. Naufrages. I can't. I'm lapsing into Portuguese. I'm lapsing. But anyway, I will learn French and read that at some point or another. The second one is P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. Jenny Han? Yes. I read the first book a while ago, last year actually, and then I got the second one, and this baby, I probably should read it before the next movie comes out, because there will be a next movie and there will be a third movie, but they kind of like mixed things from all the three books in the first movie, so I'm kind of wondering how the other two will go. Ooh, I had to lower down the camera a little bit. Don't mind it, don't mind it. The next one is a book in Spanish. I don't even know what it's about, but it's in Spanish. I should read this a lot better than I can read French. Yeah, I haven't gotten to it in a couple of years. My dad got this to me when in one of his travels. For some reason, he just gave this to me. I don't know anything about this book really, like anything at all. One day I'll get to it. Next one is, it's in Portuguese, so I can read this pretty well. It's the book that like inspired the movie Hidden Figures, which is a movie that I loved. Like the moment that it came out, I watched it with my dad, and it's just freaking amazing. And it's those women are beautiful and amazing and smart. When two of them are dead, but they remain beautiful and amazing. And it's yeah, it even has the movie cover. The book is not exactly like the story of the movie, because I read this a little bit. I read it. I don't have it marked anymore, but I already started reading this a couple of years ago, and it's just more like of an educational book. It's like talking about the struggles that not just the three women of the movie went through, but like the struggles that black women in that field went through at the time. It was a time of segregation in the United States, you know, just black women or black men were just really not allowed to do much, and then this book is just like full of trials that they went through, and I mean trials like in the legal court. It's full of like documentations of all of that stuff, and it's not just the three women that the movie is about. It's just like a lot more, and it's a little bit dense, and like you have to read it really carefully. Like you have to pay attention to stuff, because this is history. This is literally history, and just history that is not taught in school. Next one, still in Portuguese, is One of Us is Lying, by, who's the author? Karen M. McManus. I have no... Honestly, I got this because I need to read in Portuguese, like Portugal's Portuguese, to learn more about Portugal's Portuguese. And it was a book that I've seen being talked about a lot, so I was like, okay. And I saw someone on Tumblr made an AU, a Sender Sides AU for this, so like, okay, let's get into it. And I haven't read one page of this yet, not one. Another one, also in Portuguese. This one was given to me by Isa, one of my best friends, and my soulmate. They're literally my soulmate, okay? And they gave me this for, I don't, it can either be for Christmas or my birthday. They gave me 2 books, and one is supposed to be for one, and the other is supposed to be for the other. So, you know, it can be for either one. I've read, but this is like a couple of tales. It's, the name of the book is Stories of Your Life and Other Tales. So it's like, it's not one singular story, there are many stories, and they're all like sci-fi. Some are pretty cool. I already started reading, like, this is what I have left to read. If I get the thing, yeah. This is what I have left to read. This is what I already read. So, it's a good book. This one, also in Portuguese, given to me by Fernanda, the same beautiful person who requested the Introverts Things video. She got me this one because last year I went to Brazil, and I gave her a book, and she was like, okay, I need to give you something back. And when we met at the mall, so she was like, okay, let's go to Saraiva, which is a bookstore in Brazil, and it's one of the biggest bookstores in Brazil. And we just went there, and I chose this because this is like a series of tales from a book series that I adore, which is Splintered. It's based in Alice in Wonderland. I freaking love Alice in Wonderland. I really do. It's like one of my few obsessions. I say few as if I don't obsess about 100 and different things every year, but you know, one of like I loved Alice in Wonderland since I was a little kid, so it's like it's one of the few obsessions that stuck with me, and I just adore anything that's related to Alice in Wonderland. So this is just beautiful. And the actual book series is like here on the back. The covers are gorgeous. Like they're just. This one, Endgame. It's in English, but you know it's a huge ass book. I got it, like, it was one of the first books that I bought here in Portugal. It's huge, and it's huge because it's a series and it has more books. And apparently it had like a whole contest thing that you could participate in when the book was first released, and you could do like find treasures and stuff. It's just a whole thing. But this book was released a long while ago, like not long, but this was, I think, before. Okay, it's been 5 years. It's been 5 years, and it's just, I haven't heard much about this, like, at all. I just got it because look at the cover. Just look at the cover. That's the only reason that I need to give anyone. Just look at the cover. This one is the evolution of Mara Dyer. That's a good last name. But this book is the second in a series of 3 books, I think. 3, yes. And I don't have the first one. This happens to me a lot more than I like to admit, but sometimes I just like buy the second book of a series without knowing that it's the second book of a series and not the first book. So it's just very bad for me because I have to keep holding on to the books until I got the first book of the series. And yeah, it's a little bit too much for me. But I do want to read this. City of Lost Souls. This is actually what I'm reading right now. Like yesterday I went out on a walk to play Pokemon Go, and I just sat at the park, the bench park, and I just began reading this. And it's like it already starts with a bang because one of the characters is missing and everyone has to go look for him, and then they are not looking for him anymore, and then the main characters will just go and look for him, and I'm sure that's a lot of drama coming, and I can't. I love the world building of the series. I do. And I love characters like Izzy and Alec and Magnus. But the book the series are heavily like centered around the characters that I like the least, which are Jace and Clary. Oh, like when I first read the first books, I loved them so much. I was like, yes, Clary, yes, Jace, yes, I love them. I love Clace and whatever. But like now I'm rereading it, and it's just these characters. They're not bad. They're just annoying. Like they're good. They're well written characters, but they just get a little bit annoying, and everyone is so dramatic about everything, and I'm just like, Jesus, give me a chance to like laugh at something. They're just, yeah. But I want to finish the series, I really do. So it's just, I'm gonna power through it. The Shadows, I forgot the name. Like, this one's in Portuguese too, so I have to translate the name. It's by Anna Bishop, and it's the same situation with the Mara Dyer book. This is the second one, and I don't have the first one, so I need to go out and buy the first one before I can even start this one. So it's just, yeah. City of Heavenly Fire. It's the sixth book of the Mortal Instrument series, and like Harry Potter, all the books just kind of grow larger and larger. So these last two, they are like ridiculous, and they are 700 pages, I think. No, this like 600. It's kind of like the same number of pages of Harry Potter, and it's, yeah, it's just here. I need to finish the series. Stranger on a Strange Earth. This one was again given to me by Isa for either Christmas or my birthday, and this one is huge. Like, this one is really huge, and it's supposed to be like the same premise of the movie The Space Between Us, which is kind of like a boy was born in Mars, and he lived in Mars for ever, and then he finds a way to get to Earth. But instead of like having a romantic plot and him trying to find out his father or something like that, it's more, this is supposed to be like a critic of our world through the eyes of someone who lived in Mars for his entire life. So it's like kind of like a critic of human behavior and human things, like how we live on Earth. So yeah, it's this, and I'm kind of really excited to get to this one, actually, and I should do that. I say that I'm excited, but I haven't touched this book since Isa gave it to me, and I'm really sorry, Isa. I love you very much. Another huge one, because it's from Jane Austen, and it has 2 books in it, actually, because it's Sense Accessibility and then Mansfield Park, and it's huge, and the cover is beautiful. Just look at this, it's gorgeous. And I love Jane Austen. Like, I read already Pride and Prejudice, which is amazing, and then Emma, which took me a full month because I got the edition that I had for Emma was like a tiny, and the letters were tiny, and of course Jane's English is not like too old, but it's still a little bit of work for me to try to decipher, because, well, it's not the English that I'm totally used to, so it's still a little bit of work to decipher what she writes. But it's still, she was a wonderful writer, and having this book is just kind of like my pride and joy. It's just, yes. Up by Angie Thomas. If you have not read The Hate You Give, I urge you to, like, right now, stop watching the video and just go read The Hate You Give. I read that book and I was in awe of like everything. Of course I know prejudice is a thing, and I know some of the issues, well, no, I've been made aware of some of the issues that the Black community has to go through, especially in the United States, which is just like bizarre, just ridiculously racist. But reading the book just gave me like a whole new light of it, because, you know, it's literally a Black person telling me about these things, and it's not just me seeing something on the news or something on Tumblr that's about racism and all that stuff. It's just like literally a Black person writing about a Black character who is going through all these things, and it's just like amazing. And this book is supposed to be kind of the same thing, but just with a different plot, which is, I'm totally down for it, and I will get all the books that I can from Angie Thomas because I think it's important. And her characters from The Hate You Give were so well written. I just love them all. Like, well, not them all, because there is one one racist character who does not get a redemption arc, so which is good. Like, not everyone needs to get a redemption arc. So there's like one character that's not supposed to be likable, and she isn't likable, so that's good writing right there. So, you know, it's just kind of perfect. And this one is about like a 16-year-old girl who wants to be a rapper, and like music with writing, and it's just, I'm excited for this one too. Like, I should really get to this one. It's from H.P. Lovecraft, and again, the cover is gorgeous, and it's a huge ass book, but it's not just like one story that he wrote, it's about like 100 and different stories that he wrote. And yes, I'm aware he was overtly racist, but I bought this book like before I knew that he had been an overtly racist person. But again, I don't think his family is profiting from this anymore. I don't think he even had a family. Like, if he did, he's not profiting from his work anymore. That's what I'm trying to say. So I think that's okay. Maybe not. Let me know if it is okay or not, but I have the book either way, so I'm gonna read it. But yeah, and this is like supposed to be a whole different take on horror stories, because apparently before H.P. Lovecraft, love stories, no, horror stories were all about vampires and ghosts and like some supernatural stuff, but there's supernatural stuff that had already existed for hundreds of years before him, so like witches, vampires, wolves, and all that stuff. And he created these weird undescribable creatures that are just made a difference in horror altogether. Like, Cthulhu is the most famous example, I think, because it's probably the most famous story that he wrote, and I haven't even gotten to it yet. Like, I read this part down, like from here on down. I still have everything up here to read, but yeah, finally the last one, which is in the same situation of Mara Dyer and the other book that I couldn't translate the name. It's Fire with Fire by Jenny Han and Siob Han Vivian. Siob, I must be pronouncing that wrong. And oh god, okay, I didn't realize that Jenny Han was the same. Like, this was written by Jenny Han, and the P.S. I Still Love You book was this. Yeah, I didn't make that connection. Wow. Okay, but yeah, this is the last one, and that makes, I think, 17 books, aside from all the Agatha Christie books that I have on the shelf right there. But I'm kind of, I already read like 3 books of Agatha Christie's, and I didn't become such a fan of her books, so I'm just kind of like waiting to see if I want to get back into reading her things later on in life. So that was my to be read pile, which was like very tall on my desk, but and those were 2 piles. There weren't one single pile, which would have like fallen over me anyhow, probably. I hope you enjoyed me rambling on about books that I haven't read yet. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to spread love, and I'll see you in the next video.